All right, guys, and my name is Kate with Scott Leroy Marketing. Today, I'm going to be going over Command with you guys. This is a very beginner class. It's going to be an overview of the entire Command platform. We're not going to deep dive into any of the specific applets or things that Command does, but we are going to go over Command as a whole and the different pieces of Command. So without further ado, we're going to head over to our command platform. Now to access command, the website for that is going to be agent.kw.com. I have linked that in the chat for you guys. Once you are on agent.kw.com, you'll sign in with that username and password. Username is not going to be case sensitive, so if you're missing a capital letter or something like that, it's not going to matter. However, that password is very important to make sure there are no extra spaces before or after, capital letters where they belong, special characters, all of that good stuff. You will want to make sure all of that is there to prevent a error when you're trying to log in. If you forgot your password, you just go ahead and hit that forgot password. It will send over a code to your recovery email so that you can reset that. And if for any reason you're not getting that code, you will want to reach out to your Market Center staff, um, and they will be able to update that recovery email for you. Oops. So we're going to go ahead and hit sign on. Now there is a new MFA requirement. So when you are signing into your command, if you're being prompted to verify your KDA or your email, that is due to that new update. So you will get a recover or a code to your recovery email as well for that. Should only be the first time you sign into a device, or on a new browser or location, but it will send that code over. Now that we are logged into command, you'll see here that my command screen may look a little bit different from yours. That is totally okay. The home screen here is a little bit customizable, and we're going to take a look at that in just a second. But this is your home screen. So this is where you get to choose what you want to see first, what you're not interested in seeing. So if you want to customize your home screen here, the first thing you're going to do is hit that customize button in the top right corner. Now that customize button is going to allow you to determine what you want to see on this home screen and what you want to see first. So for example, if we don't, or if we want to see our recent leads and they're not currently listed, we can select recent leads. That's all the way at the bottom. Let's say that wants to be the first thing we want to see. We can move that all the way to the top. It's going to be the first thing we see when we save this. Let's say we're not interested in seeing sponsored events by the Market Center. We're not interested in having a notepad. We don't want to see our profit share. We can remove all of those things. Now we have what we want to see over here on the right hand side. Again, you can drag and drop those. If you want to see something specific first, let's leave our tasks up top, the goals in the middle. Once we hit apply, it's going to instantly update our home screen. So now we have our recent leads, we have our tasks, our goals, etc. So we can customize that home screen with that little button right there. If we forgot something or we don't like what we did, we can of course change that. Let's add our notepad back, apply, whatever you want to do. Now, other things on this home screen, you have command in the top left corner. You have connect. Now, Connect is going to be a great platform for you to come and find additional training. So you can come on here and find various training. Let's say you're taking Ignite in your Market Center or something like that. You can come here, you can search for Ignite, and you can find all of the course materials for that class. You can also find when they're coming up, if there's recent classes coming to available for you nearby to take or online. With this, you can also save classes if there's something you want to come back and do. You can bookmark it. That will add it to your learning. You can search for any type of learning. This even allows you to search for events nearby. So you can click that little events calendar. This will allow you to search events available to me. You can pick the area, the Market Center, if it's in person or not in person, right there. All of that good stuff. You can come here and search for all of that information. Now you also see Command MC up here in the top. This is going to be for leadership only. So if you are not seeing that, do not worry. Only if you're in a leadership role within your office will you have the Command MC button. I'm going to go back to the home screen here. So we're from a familiar place. Now, moving along this dark line at the top, the next thing we have is our KW Marketplace. Now, Marketplace is a place where you can connect third-party platforms to kind of work with Command. So Command was originally built to kind of try to eliminate some of those third-party platforms and also to allow different third-party platforms to talk to each other. So there's less of a disconnect and everything's kind of working together. So there is the marketplace where you can search for various third-party platforms you might be using, and you can see if you can connect them to Command so they can all talk to each other. Most of these in here are going to have some kind of pay service with them, so you will need to provide payment, but you can definitely check these out and see if there's something you're interested in adding. Now, next to the little storefront marketplace, we have our notification bell. Our notification bell is going to go off when we have anything through Command that we need to be notified of, whether that is a new lead through your KW app or your website, if your compliance was approved or not approved, anything like that. If you have new tasks, all of those notifications will come through that little bell and let you know. Now, with that being said, we do also recommend downloading the KW Command app so that you see those notifications in real time. If you're not at a desktop, you can turn those on to come to your phone so that you're notified of those. Now, to the right of our notifications, we have our photo and our name. There's also a little drop down right there that we can click on. We're going to skip over this for 1 second and I'm going to move to the question mark. Now, our question mark allows us to find some guided tours. Let's say we just want to have a little bit of guidance on things in Command or a specific part of Command. You can check those guided tours and let it know what specifically you're trying to navigate, and it'll give you some quick little guided tours on how to maneuver through those pieces of Command. You can also check out the settings for that, but I'm not sure there's much there. Now, next is your Keller Williams University. Now, that's going to give you some additional resources, training, questions you might have. It's going to guide you to try to figure out how to help you through whatever you're trying to figure out. Next is your chat with support. So this is a function that you may utilize at some point if you have a question or you're running into an issue. You can chat with support directly through Command. It's just a little chat. You can also leave a message with them if it's after hours and they'll get back to you. And then last, we have post an idea. This is going to bring you to ideas.kw.com. Going back to when Command was first created, it was built by agents for agents based on their needs. So they are always trying to improve Command based on the needs of agents. So you can come here and throw out an idea, something that you would like Command to do that it's not currently. And then you can also vote on other ideas that other people have added if there's something that you would like to see Command do that it's not. It'll allow you to see what's under review, tell us more if they're going to add it or if they have no intentions and they're trying to tell you to use something else instead. But you can come here again, vote on different ideas that you would like to see implemented. Now that's our little question mark. Moving back to our name and that little drop down, if we click on that, you'll see here that we have a personal account. Scott also has a team account. If you don't have a team account, that's totally perfect. This is only added to your Command if you are on a team. That will allow you to have a team profile as well as a personal profile. Now moving down, we have our referrals profile. Your referrals profile is going to be what allows you to be found in the referral network. Also, what's displayed when you're in that referral network. This is how you find referral partners throughout KW. So this is a great one you're going to want to make sure that you have up to date. You can come in here, edit your profile. You can edit any of the information here except for your name and your KW UID. Everything else is customizable. You can also turn on if you want to be on the referral platform. This is so other agents can find you and send referrals. You can also turn on other items that you do or don't want to be shown on the profile. So if you've only been with KW for a short period of time and you don't want that displayed on your referral profile, you can certainly toggle that off so that it doesn't display. Once you do that, you just hit those save changes. Now moving back up to our name, the next thing we have is my profile. So let's go ahead and navigate there. Now your My Profile is mostly an internal profile. However, this profile does determine if you show up on KW.com. KW.com is just the generic Keller Williams website. Some people may go here to find a KW agent to work with, and that little button on your profile will determine if you show up on here or not. So if you don't want to be seen, you can turn that off, and if you do, you just make sure that's on. Everything else on here is primarily internally used. Um, it's going to have your biography, your basic information here, phone numbers, contact info. Your real estate license number should be displayed here. If you're seeing that it's not displayed or the information is incorrect, including your expiration date, you will want to reach out to your Market Center Administrator or MCA in your local office. They will need to adjust that in the Command MC platform. Moving down, you have the My KW section. This generally has a few more drop downs below it. However, they're performing some maintenance on KW's side through Command, and some of those have been turned off. So we're not sure if or when those will be restored. However, we are hopeful they'll be restored and you'll have some additional options here for your profit share, your banking information, all of that good stuff should hopefully be restored here. It is also where you can manage your KW email. If you click that, it's going to bring you over to the KW intranet, where you can manage that. Now, moving down, we have the My Affiliations. You should see something that says MLS listing. If you do not have an MLS listing there, there's two reasons why. Either you're not a licensed agent, which then you would not have that, or if you are a licensed agent and you're missing that, again, you're going to want to reach out to your Market Center Administrator, MCA, in your office, and they can add your MLS ID. That MLS ID is super important because it does allow your listings and things like that to be integrated and sync with Command. So definitely want to make sure that's updated if you are a licensed agent. Now, down below the MLS, you're going to see we are a part of multiple market centers. You will most likely just have one or maybe two, but those are going to be the office that you're associated with, your role in the office. Another thing you want to pay attention to here, if you don't have a agent role, that may be because that license number is missing. You do want to make sure you have a license role if you are licensed. If you don't have that agent role or a license number added, it can impact your KW consumer app from being found or branded. So super important. We're going to go ahead and go backwards. We're going to go back to the home screen and back up to our name. The next thing I want to take a look at really quick is that settings button. Now that settings button is going to be where you're going to find a lot of your primary integrations. So again, we work with other platforms to sync things and talk to Command. One of those, for example, DocuSign. You should have a DocuSign connected. Most offices are using that. If you're in an office that uses Dotloop, you may also have that as an option. This generally will have to be connected through that marketplace if you are not in an office that uses that and sets that up. However, if your office doesn't use it, you may have some issues with pulling in documents, so you may want to check with your staff. Others that are going to show up, Facebook. This is for post scheduling, so you can schedule social media posts to go to your Facebook. Same for Twitter or X. You'll have your Keller covered. Your ads manager will appear here. However, it is no longer connected here in this section. You can click that little hyperlink for paid ad settings to connect that for paid ads. You should have Instagram, again, for post scheduling, so you can schedule those social media posts. Some other basics that are going to be here are the Google Calendar, your Gmail account, Office 365. This will allow specifically for emails. If you're sending emails through your Gmail and it is connected, it should notate whoever you're emailing if they're in your command on their contact timeline. So it's a great way to just stay in the know as to who you're sending emails to. Twitter ads no longer supported. It's still here. Hopefully they'll remove that at some point. Moving down, we have your email services. So this is going to be what's primarily used for your email campaigns, your smart plans, things like that. You can manage your command mail here. You do get 5,000 per month included. Anything over that 5,000, you can subscribe and add additional emails. Your MailChimp, if you have one, you can connect here. And then lastly, we have Twilio. You may experience some issues with Twilio. Again, it's another one they're kind of performing some maintenance on. We are hopeful this one will be back, but this allows you to send text messages to your database through command. And some of those are going to be automated through smart plans to where you don't have to physically send it. And lastly, you have Connect More Apps. That's going to take you back to that marketplace where you can find additional platforms you may want to use and connect them there. Now, over here on the left, we have some additional options. Your additional options, you have general settings. This is just your notification preferences. And if you have a team account, it will allow you to determine which is your default. Command settings, you have some additional options here for customization with your contacts, things like that. This is where you can find your archives and all of that good stuff. Connect settings is your marketing profile. Now, we are going to take a look at that. In my opinion, this is the most important profile in Command. This profile is the one that feeds over information to your consumer app and also to your KW website. Now, some of this other information on here is also pushed to your marketing as you're creating it through Command. So you definitely want to make sure this profile is turned on and up to date. You have photos, your team logos, your details, including your license number, make sure that's added. Come down, you have the option to choose military affiliations, add your bio, phone numbers, email, and website is another one you want to make sure is added. Then you have your Market Center specific information. You can click this KW Net Connect to find your Market Center specific logo if you need it. Come down, you have compliance. If you're in an office that requires specific compliance, whether that be verbiage, links, photos, you can add all of those here. If you're not sure if you need any of those, you could certainly reach out to your Market Center staff and they can guide you on that. And then down below, we have your social media links. You'll want to use the full URL for those that for the public facing profile. And then lastly, we have Google Analytics. And if you don't have Google Analytics set up and you would like help with that, you can always reach out to our support team and we can help get that set up for you. Once you're done, you just want to make sure you hit that save button and get this little pop-up and you are good to go. Those updates should go into effect. Sometimes we do see them take a little bit of time to show on your website and things like that, but generally 30 minutes to a couple of hours is enough and they should be updated. We're going to skip over these last two. They're not really ones that we're going to mess with. So we're going to go back to our home screen. Now, the last thing on this home screen I'm going to point out is this little 3 stars down here. This is how you can chat with the KW IQ, which is the AI for Command. So if you have questions specifically about Command or real estate, you can generally ask quick here and get some information. So that's our home screen and most of our buttons on this front screen. We're going to move into these little applets on the left-hand side now. If you guys have any questions as we're going along, definitely drop those in the chat. I'll try to stop or we'll just come to it at the end when we have time for questions. Now, the first one we have is contacts. Now, one thing I like to mention, if you're not sure what these are, you can, of course, hover over each of them. You can also hit this red and white KW and it will expand and tell you what each of those are. But the first one we're going to take a look at is our contacts. So this is where your database will live. Now, your database is important because this is how you should be trying to get business whether you are trying to stir up new business or get business from people that you've previously worked with. This is your primary source. Um, so this is where you'll add contacts. You can search for contacts by using this button up here. You can search by everything or specifics. You can turn on filters and search for specific people, whether it be based on how you found the lead, their birthdays coming up, any of that. You can use all of those filters. You can set up smart views. So as you can see, this is not our entire database. We have more than 5 people in here. However, we have a smart view set up to where we only have people showing that we'd like to see right away. So we have a class one. That's what we're seeing right now. Now we can adjust that and manage which one we have turned on. We can also see all contacts. So just allows you to filter to see specific people that may be the most important right now or something like that. You have the ability to add a contact. So if we click that, we can go ahead and add. Let's do Mickey Mouse. We can add the email, Mickey, whether that's personal or not. You can add a phone number, again, personal, home, etc. The lead source. So how did you come to find this lead? Um, we're going to do, I think we have a class one. We'll just create one if we don't. But this could be open house, sphere, whatever you want to use there. You can mark that as a lead. Now, marking that as a lead, it'll put a little L next to it. It's just another way to easily identify that person by something specific. If you have specific tags, again, great way to identify groups of people. If you had a massive open house and you want to be able to market to those people that came to your open house, an open house tag would be great to be able to easily filter through those specific contacts. Maybe you do open house and the date. You can easily find those people and start creating different marketing or touches to communicate with them. So tags are a great way to do that. We can also add additional information if we have another email or phone number. If we have their address, we can get that added here. Another address you can add, social profiles, hit the about section, you have legal name, description, birthdays and home anniversaries. If they have a relationship and you're wanting to get that added, you can do that here. You have all of the options for pretty much anything you could think of. Company name, and then custom areas of interest, sports teams, kids' names, just other ways for you to have great conversations with those people. And be relatable when you're communicating with them. So you can add any of those. You can also add your own custom field if there's something specific you would like to be notated on a contact. So once we're done, we can hit create and it will add our contact here. Now our contact card, if we want to click into one of those, you can again edit any of that information that we just created by hitting that little pencil. You can also add them to a smart plan, change, all of that good stuff. If we come in this section over on the left, this is going to be all of that information we just added when we were creating a contact. And on the right-hand side, we have some other options. So timeline. This is going to show us every event that we've had a communication with them. So if we emailed, called, things like that, you can add those here. Either they're going to come up because it was sent through command, or you can add an activity to show whether you called, had a meeting, etc. So great way to just keep note of everything you're doing with that specific contact. But that's going to show all of those activities. You have the opportunities. This will let you know if you have a sales transaction with that specific person. You can also create one here if you need to get going on that. If they're on any smart plans, you can come here to check out that information. You can also add them. If you have any upcoming tasks or you need to create a task, maybe you need to notate a follow-up you need to do, you can create yourself a task here. You also have notes. Let's say you just want to make a note on a conversation you had or something you found. You can put that here. And then you also have saved searches that you can create that goes over to them. That is your contact card. We're going to go ahead and go back. Other things on the contacts here, you can filter to see what you want or customize what you see here. So if you want to see something specific, dates of birth, addresses, emails, you can check what you want to see, same as that homepage. You can also see show what is more important to you. So what do you want to see first? Do you want to see their email? We can move that up, apply. It's going to adjust those columns so that we see that first. You can bulk select and you'll have action items you can do. You can also click the three little dots to perform some different actions as well. Now, generally, there's also an import and export. Those have been temporarily removed, but we're hopeful they are going to restore those soon. Those are our contacts. Again, if you have any questions, go ahead and drop those in the chat, but we're going to move down to our next one, which is tasks. Now, tasks is pretty self-explanatory, so we won't spend a ton of time here. But this is where you can create different tasks for yourself. You can also have tasks that are created by opportunities, things that you do for every opportunity, or smart plans. If you have a smart plan running and you have set tasks, maybe you want to make personal phone calls. It'll show you a task to call over to that person. It'll have a title. If it's linked to a specific contact or opportunity, who it's assigned to, this is generally going to be you. If there's a set priority level for that, when it's due, so you can also filter if it's past due, due today, next 7 days, later, or no due date. You can filter by all of those options. Created by, so this will tell you if it's created by a smart plan or you. You also have the ability to check the little box here and also edit, reschedule, notes, archive. When you've completed a task, you can simply check that little box there. That will allow you to also select all, reschedule, change priority. And actually, I'm telling you the wrong check. This is going to be the one that completes the task. So when you complete that, you'll hit that little check mark and it will remove that, let you know up at the top that it was completed. So you can also up here search for specific contacts. You can filter. You can view your completed as well as your archived. So this is where we found the one we just completed today. See, it's got the little green check over here now. We can view archive tasks. And we can also create a brand new one. Creating a brand new one, we can of course link it to a contact or opportunity. We can give it a task name. Let's just say call, demo. We can add our description. Let's say we want to call them. We don't need a hyperlink. Priority level, we'll do high. When is this due? We can select our due date. All day, or is it a specific time? Does this need to repeat? Yes or no? Is it weekly, custom, etc.? And then you can create that task. And that will put it on your to-do list. And that is our tasks here. Now, next is going to be smart plans. Now, smart plans are a great way to do follow-up. It's kind of like a set it and forget it type of follow-up. So they have very smart plans. We have some already added. You can, of course, create your own custom smart plan, or you can check out the library. Now, the library is where people from all over Keller Williams have created smart plans for you to utilize. You can also check out the Keller Williams published smart plans, top rated, new smart plans, etc. You can add these to your library. You can check out the reviews, rate it yourself. You can also view the steps. So that will allow you to see this is just a call. It's a monthly call plan. It's going to repeat. It's just a simple one, just a call one. It has one touch, it's 31 days long, and then it repeats. If we come down, we have this one that's 50 days long and 8 touches. If we view those steps, you're going to see it has a lot more to that smart plan. So sending a text, creating a task, calls, etc. It's going to have all of that information here. And we can just hit add to smart plan. Now this one is already added to our library, but generally you can just hit download and that will add it to your library over here. Now this is where you can again view those steps. You can also see if you have any contacts on that smart plan. So it'll have a little eyeball if it has anybody on it. You can click on that to see who is on it. You also have the ability to see how long it is, how many times you're communicating with a specific contact when they're on that smart plan. You can add people to the smart plan here, edit the smart plan. In a lot of cases, if you're borrowing a smart plan from the library that was created by a specific agent, you may want to comb through that and make sure they don't have any personal branding or links or market center information that you may need to remove. So you'd want to edit that. You also have your three dots where you can copy, publish to library, or just delete it from your library. And then lastly, if you created your own smart plan and you want to share that with other KW agents, you can of course publish a smart plan um, by publish to library, and you can find those over here in published. Now you may get a notification like this. We don't have Twilio set up, so if you don't, make sure if you have a smart plan that has texting, you've replaced that text with a task so you can text them yourself. Now moving along, we have the referrals profile. We'll give it a second to load. Now, our referrals profile is where we can grow our referral network so that we have plenty of agents to choose from when we have a referral, or if they have a referral, they're thinking of us. Um, it's also where you can find referral partners. So as you can see here, we have my referral network. This is where you see the agents that we've already connected with, just adding them to our referral network. Now, that's not to say we've had a referral with them or, sent them one. It's just to say we've connected so that I can easily send them one if I have something in that area. Now, you'll see up here we have an overview. This is our pending invites. That's just to add to our referral network, so growing that network. Pending referrals, these are actual referrals that we have pending, received from other agents, and any referrals that we've sent. If we go over to my referrals, this is going to give you more of a breakdown of all those sent, received referrals that you've actually had. So, do you have any pending, active? You can view all of the different options you may have for those referrals here. You can also send a new referral, send an update to somebody if you had a referral come through. All of that can be found here. Now, next is your map. Your map is a great way to find referral partners. So this is where if you have a client that came to you, let's say they're moving to, let's say, Dallas, you can come here and find an agent in Dallas that you can connect your buyer with, and you can get that referral deal. So for this, I like to, let's do Dallas. If I could type, we'll do Dallas, Texas. And it's going to zoom in on that area. Might take it a minute. And once it does, it's going to start to populate agents over here on the right-hand side. And we may have to zoom in a little bit. There's a lot of agents in Texas. So as we start to zoom in and narrow on the area that our client may be trying to buy in, it should start to, like I said, populate those agents over here on the right-hand side. Sometimes it just takes a second. We're going to zoom in, so maybe it's a little bit easier. And we'll just give it a second. And we're going to get to email campaigns as we go down, so we will get to that. I'm not ignoring your question. There we go. So I'm actually going to change this to say market centers. Might be a little bit quicker for us. We'll see. There we go. All right, so now you can see we have some referral agents starting to populate on the right-hand side. It shows 175 of them. Currently, they're set as random. So you can see that right here in this dropdown. If we're looking for specifically listing agents, buyer agents, we can definitely check those out as well. If we want to see closed units, it's going to change how the agents that we're seeing based on what we're using there. So you can definitely keep that in mind. Once we're in the area, we've zoomed in, we have agents populating, you have the ability to add them to your referral network or send them a referral. So you can do that right here on the map. Now you can also view referral patterns. I like this one because it shows you a little bit of information on where people are moving. So if you're looking in this area and you want to see if you're looking in your area and you want to see where agents are or clients are moving to from your area, you can check out those referral patterns and see where people are moving to and from, which allows you to see where you may want to connect with people. Sorry, that map is taking a second to load. And then lastly, we have My Network. This is going to show you the same agents you were seeing on that dashboard. It's just eliminating the information at the top right here. Now, next we have opportunities. And I do apologize if I'm going a little fast. Command Overview has a lot to go over in a short amount of time. So hopefully we get through everything and have some time for questions. And I give this a second to load. And every once in a while, we just need a good refresh. There we go. All right. So now that we are in opportunities, you're going to see that we have a few different pipelines, is what we call them. We have a listing pipeline, we have a buyer pipeline, and we have leases. Down at the bottom, we have some numbers for our number of people. So ratios, activities, closings you may have coming up this month. Up here in our pipelines, though, you'll see we have different buckets, cultivate, active, appointment, etc. Um, as you have people moving through a transaction, you can drag those people through those various buckets, and it will show you how, it'll tell you kind of more information on how long it's taking you to get from cultivate to appointment. How long is it taking you from cultivating a relationship with somebody to closing a deal? It'll start to give you that information so you can build better goals for yourself and how likely it is for somebody from this cultivate bucket to get to closing. So it just gives you information to be able to work your business a little bit differently. Um, so this is your pipelines. You have the ability to create a new opportunity. Um, you can see your settings for that. That's going to bring you back into where we were in settings up here. You also have the all opportunities button, which is going to show you every opportunity that you had. Now, I like to point this out because it will also let you see closed opportunities. When you're on this pipeline screen here, if you have a closing that closed, let's say you have a closing that happens today, if you were to look at this close bucket next month on the 18th, it's going to say 0. The reason for that is once a closing has happened and the office has transmitted, that new month is going to clear that closings out, but you can still find those under all opportunities. So as you can see, we have a lot of closed. From all opportunities, though, you can search for specific opportunities or contacts. You can filter those. Um, you can even set up smart views. So if you don't want to see closed opportunities, those are getting in your way. You can set up a smart view that filters those out so that you see everything but. So great way for you to be able to customize what you're seeing. Um, that's your opportunities. Again, it's just going to show you everything through a transaction, and you get to kind of determine if you're using all of these or not. That's kind of up to you, but you just drag and drop as you're moving them through a transaction. So you can move that up here, all of that. Now we're going to move down to campaigns. Now, campaigns are going to be a lot of your lead generation tools. So this is where you can create paid advertisements through your social platforms. You can create email campaigns that go out to your database. You can create direct mailers, which are going to be postcards. And you can send postcards to targeted neighborhoods, whether you want to farm a specific area, or you can also send them to your clients. So if you're sending out a postcard for the holidays, you can certainly target your database and send out postcards to those people. You can also do your social media posting here to your business accounts. All of that is done through the campaign section. So from here, we have our dashboard. This is just going to have all of the tips, training, etc. Paid ads. This is where you can go over to your paid ads. It's no longer run directly through command, but it will redirect you so that you can get started on creating those. You'll see it'll redirect me. And this is where you can create your paid ads, whether they're for Facebook, Instagram, Google, etc. All of those can be created through that platform. Now we're going to go back. We're going to take a couple clicks. Took us way far back. That is okay. We'll go back to campaigns. Now, next we have email campaigns. Again, this is where you can send emails to your database. And it will give you information on how many sents, clicks, opens, unsubscribes, all of that good information. It's going to give you details on all of it. And you can create different types of email designs based on what you're trying to send out. There are various templates you can use. And I know there was a question in chat about email campaigns. We do have a class that goes over email campaigns in depth, how to create them, how to send them, all of that. So I may suggest checking that out if you are looking to do that. Direct mailers, again, postcards. You can target specific neighborhoods or your database. And then lastly, we have social posts. This is where you can schedule those posts to go out for holidays, just general marketing you might want to do. They also have quick posts that you can use and share to post to your social media. Now, next we have reports. Now, reports is where you can come and get additional information on what's going on with command. So, how healthy is your database? And health and database, it's based on their primary information. So, phone number, email, address, do they have a neighborhood? And then they've also included anniversaries and birthdays. That allows you to market to people in a lot of different ways and stay in good communication with them. So, that's what makes you have a very healthy database. You can compare that to other agents in your office, state, all agents, or agents in your bracket, top production agents. So you can just kind of compare and see how you're doing. If we move over to reports, you have the ability to see your opportunities. This kind of gives you that information on how long are opportunities taking to get from cultivate to close. So as you're moving them through that process, you're going to get more numbers here that gives you more accurate information on those. You can also check out your goals, database, all of that good stuff. Now you can come in here and set your goals for the year. So how much money do you want to make? How many transactions is that going to take? How many buyers, sellers does that look like based on your history? All of that good stuff. So you can get very specific on your goals, and you can keep track of them as the year goes. How close are you to hitting that goal? What do you need to change to get there? All of that. So it will track all of this from command and update as you're moving those people through your opportunities. You can also get started on your 2025 goals if you are getting around that, um, getting around to that. Lead routing if you're on a team. You then also have your email metrics. So this is kind of going to give you that information on your smart plans and email campaigns that are going out, who's opening them, who's not, who's unsubscribing. It's going to give you specifics on all of that. This is by month, so you can always go back through each month and check those out. And then lastly, we have texts and calls. So if you are using Twilio, it's going to give you some information here on the credits you're using, how many are expiring, all of that good stuff. Now next we have designs. Now designs is where you can create various different pieces of marketing. You can create email designs so that you can send those in your campaigns or smart plans. You can create social media posts. If you want to create open house flyers, door hangers, anything like that, you can create that in print. You can also create some short little videos in here that go over neighborhood stats. But these allow you to create different types of marketing designs that you can utilize for any of those things, social posts, email campaigns, etc. Um, Similar to Canva, in my opinion, a little bit different, but a great place to come and have some templates and get started with creating different marketing. Um, Next, we have listings. Now, listings is where you can search listings throughout the MLS. You can also search the collections created by your clients. You do again have that ability to search any listings that are in the MLS. Here on this front one, you should be able to see your listings. If you're not, again, make sure that MLS ID is published in your profile. You also may need to sync. So just keep those in mind if you're having any issues here. Um, if you're still having issues, definitely reach out to our support team. We can take a look and try to determine why those may not be feeding over. Um, but yeah, it'll let you search any of those listings. You can zoom in on any area and it will start to populate those listings and all of the listing details. So as you can see, it's starting to populate those as we got very specific. Now moving along, the last one we have is websites. Now, websites, this is going to be where you can come and customize your KW website. So as you can see on this front page, we have edit. This will allow you to make some small minor edits to your KW website right here. By just hitting edit, it will allow you to edit that home page. You can also edit the color, content, things like that. You can also hit view in expert mode. Now that's going to bring you into the full dashboard for the KW website so that you can start customizing your website even further. Um, if we come back here and we go back to pages and close this out, we also have this settings button. Now, if we click that settings button, you'll also have the edit my website here. That will again open a dashboard to your website just like this, so you can start customizing it. And if you scroll down, you can manage your domain. So if you want to change that, you have your app URL. This is going to be your branded link. You can't customize this right now, but you can find your link to share here. And then next we have team referral links. Now you'll only see this if you're on a team. It will give you team name, the website URL, your team app link, and then the team member app link. Again, only if you're on a team will you have those. Next, we have some preferences. So do you want to show the Keller home loans on your website and app? Do you want to show the Keller covered on those? Do you want neighborhoods to be shown on your agent website? You can decide if you want to enable or disable those. Each of those will have a little save button, so make sure you click that as you're updating those. And then next we have forced registration. So this is important. If you want people to be registering on your website, you get to decide. Do you want them to have unlimited viewing of properties? They don't have to register an account. Do you want someone to be able to view 10 properties on your website and then they're forced to register? Um, do you want them to be able to view 2 properties and then register, or do you want them no access to property viewing unless they register? Registering an account would put a notification and let you know there's a new lead. So that's the reason they give those options here. This is not expert mode where we are right here. The expert mode is going to be when you're in this dashboard over here. Once you set your forced registration, if you want it, you just hit save changes. It will update that. Lastly, you have deactivate your site. This is primarily only used if you want to start 100% from scratch. You want a brand new website. Keep in mind you will lose any custom content, potentially your testimonials, anything like that. So use this with discretion. Deactivating your site is primarily just a good thing for if you're leaving, or if you have a third-party website and you don't want anyone finding your KW one. So definitely use that deactivate with discretion. That is our command overview for today. We have about 9 minutes, which is perfect for any questions you guys might have. So I am going to stop recording so that we can go through some questions. So if you have any, drop those in the chat for me. If you don't have any questions, definitely feel free to get 9 minutes back of your day. I hope this class was helpful. If you need to rewatch that, check out our YouTube channel. Or if you have any questions, you can reach out to our email at support@scottleroymarketing.com. Let's stop recording and go through some questions.